Sorry, Sue, is it okay to wait just a few more minutes? I know it's nearly 1:30 or 9:30 over there.
Can I go on a little bit longer then?
Are you okay for time?
If I can do my half hour, yes.
Okay, fine. And Sarah, are you okay for time as well? I hope you don't have to go anywhere.
No, sorry, that's fine. Sorry, remember to unmute.
Okay, that's fine, good. Because we're just waiting actually. Well, nearly half have logged on, so we'll just give them a few more minutes.
Okay. We've lost our hot weather. We had plenty of hot weather a little while ago, and now we've got plenty of rain.
I heard, yes. There was a day when actually England was hotter than Islamabad by 1 degree.
Oh, yeah. Well, it nearly kills us. I don't know what it does to you.
It's actually, well, England's kind of not equipped for hot weather, so it does become difficult over there. Here we have fans and stuff like that, so we're okay. If we're sort of inside. Otherwise, yes, it's pretty difficult outside.
We just don't know what to do.
No.
It's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. We only have half the strength. There are about, I think, 100 who signed up. So we just have to give them maybe 5 more minutes.
Okay.
We'll just wait. Okay, so we'll just start and I'll just introduce yourself. I'm sorry, myself and everybody. We're going to start because I don't know why people are taking so long, but anyhow, so everybody sort of has their own time. So just want to say Assalamu alaikum and hello to everybody and welcome to this webinar with Sue and Sarah. We're all really excited to have them on this webinar. And just going to start with a little prayer. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Okay, so now I'm just going to introduce Sue. Sue is basically of course, everybody knows, is the author of Jolly Phonics and most of the material, I think.
Most of Sarah.
Sarah and Sue, okay, together, co-authors, I guess. And Sue was teaching for over 20 years at the Woods Loke Primary School. And there, I think, yes, I guess, developed the phonics teaching. And then it all carried on to Jolly Phonics and what we know today. So over to you, Sarah. Please go ahead and start. Sorry, Sue.
I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if I can do this properly. And there we are. Let me see if I can How about that? Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine.
And you can hear me all right. Anyhow, it is amazing. From so far away, we could be united and very exciting. And I guess us teachers around the world and parents all want to do the best for their children. And, you know, it's important to know what is the best. So let's have a look. Do methods of teaching count? Well, they do. Absolutely. We have programs like Whole Language and Balanced Literacy, and now we know that they are the least effective methods of teaching. And then we have systematic synthetic phonics, and that's the most effective. And then if you mix both the methods, it reduces the effectiveness of the synthetic phonics. So you might ask, why? Why do I think this? Well, first of all, we experienced it in the classroom. We changed our method from whole words to actually teaching the alphabetic code and how to work the words out, decoding and encoding. And we all saw this huge improvement, but it was later on standardized tests that showed how effective it was. So in my mind, it was absolutely clear. We were the same teachers, same enthusiasm, but we did different things. We didn't ask the children to memorize whole words. We went and taught them how to work them out for themselves. And why is this so important? Well, of course, the English language has a code. There's a written code to it. We speak in words, and words are made up of individual sounds, phonemes. And then we use letter or letters to represent those sounds. So for reading, it's the k, at, cat. You put the sounds together from the letters. And for writing, well, you know the word cat, you want to write it, you listen, k, at, and you put letters for those sounds. And that's basically how the code works. The only snag is, English has a complicated alphabetic code, the most complicated of all the languages that use the Roman alphabet. I mean, if we used Spanish, Italian, German, or Finnish, they have very simple alphabetic codes, very sensible. But ours is far more complicated. And because it is complicated, it needs much more careful, structured, step-by-step teaching. So it is important to choose your program, and it is important to follow it. Let's look here at the awkwardness of our code, the English alphabetic code. Let's take the A sound. Now, first of all, we deal with the AI, with the A, so the children can go r, a, n, and read rain. And then we deal with the split digraph, the A hop over E, so they can read a word like date. And then the AY, so they can read the word like say. So that's 3 lots of things you have to teach. But it doesn't end there. Look at all these other A sounds. A single A usually has an A sound, but in these words it has an A. EI as in faint, EY as in they. 4 letters here, EIGH as in 8. ET as in ballet, well, that's going to be your French influence. EA, this EA nearly always has an E sound, but sometimes an E sound, like head and bread. But here it's got an A sound. But the thing is, there's only about these 3 words that use it. So it's very rare. And then we have AIGH with an A sound as in straight, but I think that's the only one. So all these ones use these alternative sounds. There are far fewer of them. And so we don't deal with them first. This is a useful thing for teachers and parents. It's a guide to the alphabetic code, and I've made it available so you can download it and look for yourself. Look here, this is the A down here, and you can see there's the first way of doing it, AI, and then we have the other, in the pinky, is the other alternative ways we teach in Jolly Phonics in the first year, and then these other awkward ones further on, so you can see exactly how it works. So really we have to say, what are the basic skills for reading and writing? Well, the first one, of course, is having knowledge of spoken English. You need to have a bit of spoken English vocabulary and language comprehension. And if your children haven't got that, then you need to concentrate on that as well, which is perhaps using Jolly English, which is a program that we've developed. But for Jolly Phonics, it's about learning how to decode and encode words, work them out, and you need to become fluent at that. And then the letter formation and pencil control is needed. Now, Jolly Phonics is a systematic synthetic phonics program. It's a research term. The synthetic doesn't mean artificial, it means you synthesize the sounds together, synthesis. It teaches the alphabetic code from the beginning, so no whole words, has that step-by-step structure, and most of all, avoids asking children to read or write words that they cannot decode or encode. So don't ask them to do anything you haven't taught them. This is one of my most useful bits of material which I've made available, a word bank, because now you can see, you start with the first letter sound, no words, then the next letter sound, an awkward one, then the next letter sound. Well, you can now have sat and at. And each time you introduce a new letter, you can see words that can be blended and worked out. And you can follow it, you download it, you can follow it, and it's an excellent way of understanding how the teaching works. So here you can see the A, and you've got far more words. So you go from the simple and you progress to the more complicated. This is a useful thing. I think this gives an overview of the whole thing, really, in that this is the body of knowledge that needs to be known. And this is useful for teachers to think, yes, those are the letter sounds I'm going to have to teach this year, and I'm going to have to teach them really well. And these are the tricky words, words that have an awkward bit in them and that we haven't taught yet, and yet these words are so frequently used in English that we need to deal with them. I think parents find it very useful to understand this is what the children are going to be taught in their first year or two. The colouring here is linked to the readers. So there's your red, and orange and red readers, yellow, green, blue, and now the purple. Let's have a look at it more carefully. The first letter sound, of course, is this, and then we go along and we gradually introduce these letter sounds. But the really important thing is that we don't just teach those letter sounds, we teach the children how to use them for working out words for reading and writing. So straight away, that word bank is so useful. Now, we put quite a few words within the actual program, but there are even more, so teachers will find that useful. And by the time we get down to the end, the children should be good at blending words, little phrases, and even sentences that use those tricky words. We teach these tricky words by basically sort of blending them and then seeing what's tricky about them. So here's the word the. If a child was blending it, they would go the, the. Well, that doesn't say the. No, that at the end is tricky and it's going it's what we call a schwa. Then he, she, me, we, be. Well, the e on the end usually says but this time it's saying e, and you just have to learn it. And you can see down here, thousands of words are available for you to help the children develop that skill of blending. Then, of course, when we've taught the 42 letter sounds, they are able then to read books for themselves. And I recommend waiting until the 42 letter sounds have been taught and the 12 tricky words, because then you will see that you have some children are just straightforward, they've got it all sorted, they can blend, they know the letter sounds, they can go straight on to the red level. But there are some that don't have such good memories and they take longer to learn the letter sounds, longer to pick up the skill of blending. They need far more practice than the others, and these orange readers are very useful there. So those first three only use the first 6 letter sounds. And then, of course, we've dealt with the main way of writing the letter sounds, and now we start the alternative spellings. And the first one is the Y. In the beginning, it was a Y, but now it has another sound, an E, at the end of sunny, and some more tricky words, which enable the yellow readers to be read. You get more words on the page, and it's starting to become a little bit smaller in the print. Then you progress from there to the green level readers, the split digraphs here, the alternatives A, E, I, O, and U, more words available, learn more tricky words, and then the green level can be read. And this is the sort of progression that the children are taken through. Each level has about 18 books. Then we come on to the alternative spellings, some more alternative spellings that need to be learnt. And then the children are able, and some more tricky words, more words available, and the blue level. And by the time you get to the blue level, and now the purple level, which is even going a little bit further, you will find that the children who are fluent at reading actually can read anything. They start reading their books themselves, or if they see a newspaper in English, they will start reading that, or something on the internet that's written in English, they will start reading that, and they become independent readers. So the aim is to make sure that the children are absolutely automatic at decoding. And by that, I mean, so used to blending that they never think of anything else. When they come to a new word, they always try and work it out. There are some helpful hints here that will help the children. They have to sort of try this way or that when they start to become independent readers, because a lot of words, the pronunciation is close but not exact. Look at this word, sausage. If you were blending this, you'd go s-or-s-age, sausage. Well, perhaps a long time ago we did say that, but we now say sausage. Now, a child who's got sausage in their language and they've got a bit of context, they will probably be able to tweak that and get it. The same with door. Door is door. We say it as door, but the Scottish say door still. So, pronunciation does vary. And so the children have to learn to make these little leaps. And there's another one when two vowels go walking. The first does the talking. So it's going to be A or A. And here, of course, it's brain. It's taking the A. The I says nothing, but it makes the A go A. But sometimes the second one, look, young. It's not the O or the O, it's the A that's giving it. So they need to know if the short vowel doesn't work, try the long one, little tricks. So just a quick one for those who don't know, but basically we've got 3 sets of materials. The Phonics handbook, where you've got photocopyable materials, pupil books for people who don't want to photocopy, and we've also got whiteboard software for any schools that have whiteboard. The teaching is all the same. And there's the basic steps. You've got to learn the letter sounds, letter formation, blending, and identifying those sounds in words. Those are the 4 essential ones. We do tricky words later.